organized team activities. Number 2, continue to go on out in Berea, and some work going on for the Browns. Here's a good look at Deshaun Watson, a little bootleg, trying to work on the accuracy. This one goes to Jakeem Grant. Might be a deep threat that the Browns fans are sleeping on a little bit from the wide receiver position. A great return guy can be a deep threat as well. Chase Winovich looking fast and getting the pass rushing drills down. And then David Bell, a young guy that a lot of people think could do big things, also running routes. Going on out in Berea, OTAs with that. Let's welcome in Spencer German from 92.3 The Fan. Spencer, appreciate the time and you hopping on with us. What do you think the most important thing that the Browns want to get done in these early OTAs is?
Yeah, well, first of all, happy to be here. Very excited to make my debut on the show with you, Dave. But I think obviously the most important thing is, especially at this time of year, just getting Deshaun Watson acclimated with the offense, getting him acclimated with his teammates. He seemed to do a little bit of that himself with the trip to the Bahamas over the weekend, trying to kind of get to know the guys. And I mean, so far you're hearing rave reviews from some of the other players at press conferences just about the type of leader he is, type of player he is. So it seems like that's kind of those off the field things are going a long way, but also on the field, they're getting their first look at him under center, how he's going to command things, you know, what he's going to do in this offense. So kind of acclimating him with all that, I think is obviously priority number 1. You get a new quarterback in here, that's going to be the biggest thing, is just getting him familiar with the system, but also just familiar with his teammates and building the morale there.
Yeah, the other thing that we're hearing is the offense is looking significantly different, and it's pretty apparent and evident early on. That's not a surprise. Kevin Stefanski is going to build it around the strengths of the quarterback.
Yeah, and I think that's a question Browns fans have going into the season, obviously, is how is this offense going to look different? There was obvious complaints last year about maybe not using Nick Chubb enough, but what does that look like this year with a quarterback who has some mobility himself, but also we are assuming is based on past tape, past seasons, is a better passer overall than Baker Mayfield. So, you know, what can they do with him that they maybe couldn't do with Baker? How different is this offense going to look? And the hard thing, though, obviously with potential suspension looming for Deshaun Watson, is, you know, we might not even know the answer to that question until midway through the season or later, just based on how that kind of plays out. So they'll obviously work now and get him acclimated and go in assuming he plays for a good portion of the season. But until we know that suspension, which is kind of the dark cloud hanging over this team right now, the offense that we get week 1 still might end up looking different than the offense that we get, you know, week 8, 9, 10 later in the season. So it's all very fluid, but obviously priority number 1, as you've kind of said, is just seeing what types of plays and how the scheme will vary from last year with Baker Mayfield to this year with Deshaun Watson.